March 24th, 2022. Happy birthday today to Emery and Mr. Dennis's class and Jameson and Mrs. Crook's class. Tomorrow is a Bearsville Spirit Day. You can show your Bearsville pride by wearing Bearsville clothing or red and black. Stay tuned for the core value announcements about cooperation.
Cooperation is kind of like a cake. Stay with me. If I were to give you the ingredients separately, you wouldn't be too impressed. I mean, no one likes to eat the ingredients on their own. Flour? Yuck. Raw eggs? Gross. But when they're all put together, well, who can resist a yummy cake? Just like the ingredients taste better when they all come together, we are better when we come together.
Today in history, March 24th, 1989, Exxon Valdez oil spill. The Exxon Valdez oil spill was a man-made disaster that occurred when Exxon Valdez, an oil tanker owned by the Exxon Shipping Company, spilled 11 million gallons of crude oil into Alaska's Prince William Sound on March 24th, 1989. It was the worst oil spill in U.S. history until 2010. The Exxon Valdez oil slick covered 1,300 miles of coastline and killed hundreds of thousands of seabirds, otters, seals, and whales. Nearly 30 years later, pockets of crude oil remain in some locations. After this spill, Exxon Valdez returned to service under a different name. On the evening of March 23rd, Exxon Valdez left the port of Alaska, bound for Long Beach, California, with 53 million gallons of crude oil on board. Approximately 4 minutes after midnight on March 24th, the ship struck a reef, which is a well-known navigation hazard. The impact of the collision tore open the ship's hull, causing some 11 million gallons of crude oil to spill into the water. At the time, it was the largest single oil spill in U.S. waters. Initial attempts to contain the oil failed, and in the months that followed, the oil slick spread, eventually covering 1,300 miles of coastline. Investigators later learned that Joseph Hazelwood, the captain of the Exxon Valdez ship, had allowed an unlicensed third mate to steer the massive ship. Exxon paid about $2 billion in cleanup costs and $1.8 billion for habitat restoration and personal damages related to the spill. Cleanup workers skimmed oil from the water's surface, sprayed oil dispersing chemicals in the water and on shore, washed oiled beaches with hot water, and rescued and cleaned animals trapped in oil. As a result, the Oil Pollution Act of 1990 was passed by President George H.W. Bush. It was signed into law later that year. The Oil Pollution Act of 1990 increased penalties for companies responsible for oil spills and required that all oil tankers in the United States waters have a double hull.
Okay. All right. Will do.
Gabby, any update on the ratings?
That was the network. Numbers are looking really good, but we need one more good story to really seal the deal.
Perhaps. We should say Luku's name, and he'll magically hear us, and he'll finally... Show off.
What does the next riddle say? Should be the last one.
In the place where lions roam, there you'll find your next film's home. It may feel like a safari. If you tarry, you'll be sorry. Safari. It's gotta be Kenya.
Gabby, I've solved it. I figured out who Luku really is. Welcome back to Sports City Worldwide for our final segment.
This film is about a long-distance runner who knows how to run with endurance. Enjoy.
Meet Patience, a 14-year-old runner who lives in Iten, Kenya. Iten is a small village high in the mountains of Africa. Kenyan runners are known for their endurance, which is why they hold many of the fastest world records and win the biggest races. In running, endurance means you keep going even when you want to stop.
You need to be able to train hard to be able to endure.
Patience goes to school near a training center for runners. People from all over the world come to here to learn how to run better. Patience runs for her school team and frequently competes against other teams. One time, Patience competed in a regional championship race. Before the race, she was very nervous. She wanted to win, and she knew she would need endurance to not stop running even when she wanted to. Suddenly, the whistle blew and the runners were off. In the middle of the race, Patience got very tired, but she knew someone was behind her, so she kept running. She crossed the finish line and won. For Patience, being a good runner is all about having endurance. She hopes to be a famous runner one day, so she's constantly working on building up her endurance. She also practices endurance by helping her family. On the weekends, she gathers firewood, cleans up, fetches water, and washes clothes. Sometimes she gets tired, but like running, she doesn't stop until she's finished. To Patience, endurance is all about not giving up, even when things get tough. Patience runs with endurance.
Let's end today's announcements by remembering the STAR expectations. Today and every day, strive to do your best.
Take responsibility for your actions.
Always be safe.
Respect people and property. Have a great day, Bearsville!
Now please stand for the playing of the national anthem followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.